Okay, this is an add-on. Okay.
Well, I was just gonna say, I've been on the board for a number of years, and I was on back when we weren't represented by a lawyer and our engineer. And it used to be, we used to guess at a lot of things. We used to guess, we didn't really know, for sure if we could do it or not, and it was that way. Since we've had them, and some people might look at the lawyer, they might think the engineer and think, this is costing the county, costing the water districts a lot of money to have. But I think in the long run, it's actually cheaper. We can get the answers, and we're staying on the right side of the law. We're not getting in trouble. We're doing the things the way we're supposed to do, and we have legal advice right here as we have our meeting, which has been a tremendous help compared to years ago when we just kind of, were flying in the dark sometimes.
Mhm.
Well, too, I've heard said, when the attorney gave options that, if you go through Apex, or this is a reason why they've had Apex, is to help save money too.
Yeah.
But like you said, you have that security.
This has been an issue that has been thrown at us, saying, these attorneys are costing a lot of money, and they do. There's no getting around that. But I think in the long run, it has saved us as a board and the county money, having them there and getting the legal advice that we need. Otherwise, we were just floundering at times.
I can remember kind of, referring to the stuff, a project we had east of town here, that's probably 10 years ago now, or close to it,
Oh, I know that.
where, we didn't have an attorney go through the contract, between the former engineer that we had and, the contractor, and we paid for our attorney's wages for quite a few years by that mistake. And that's why we made the changes that we did, and we're sticking by them. Even if we get criticized for it. Because in the long run, and people don't see that. They don't see what we see every day. And that's one thing that does frustrate us is, when people criticize us for the job that we're doing, that have never been to a meeting, have no idea what we deal with, or what's involved with all the laws that we have to, work within. It's just like the legislative updates today's meeting, Wells County is, been involved with that for a long time with the legislative process, because I ended up, being asked to serve on the state board of directors for the Water Resource Districts Association. So I'm quite involved in that, and I would say there must have been 8-10 bills just to deal with, no, it's probably more than that, just dealing with water law this year and the changes and whatever else. And so yeah, it's not an easy board to be on, because there is so much that's involved with it.
And we, the board, have the easy job. Larry does have the difficult job, and he's good at it. I mean, he's got a passion for it, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't want his position.
I don't know his position.
Devin, do you have anything to add, or?
Oh yeah. We do have a good board. We work very well together. There's things that I've said and these guys have disagreed with, and once they kind of listen to their side, it's like, oh yeah, that wasn't correct on my part, and I think that's a good part of this board is we do have discussion. We don't always agree, and you're seeing this as well. This situation is working well, but also when you come through those doors and you come to the board meeting as a person in the public, that also affects how the meeting is run. You have to be open-minded when you come to the meeting. You have to hear, we have to listen to you as the public and then mull it over and figure out what we can or can't do, and then we have to tell you that news. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear, but it's the truth. And people in the public also have to realize you have to be open to, you can't be closed-minded. about the decisions that are coming across, like, no, it's gonna be this way and that's it. It's not that way, you know, you gotta hear both sides before you can make your decision. And yeah, like, it's just, this is working out really well. Not all situations go well, unfortunately.
Well, there's some reason why I was supposed to see this, you know. I mean, I believe God's hands is in things, and I just, this, like I said, from the first meeting, you know, which is like, this is the third, so 2 months ago, which would have been then January or February, March, April, February, to see this. Like, again, I thank you guys. I thank you for your dedication and working together, you know. Thank you.